Biofriendly podcast. It's the Biofriendly podcast.
So, but is it actually real, Jacob? Has the show actually started, or is it not actually started?
Zoom doesn't tell me when it starts. We say when it starts.
Oh, what do we?
Which is now, roughly.
No, it has started.
Roughly now.
Okay.
Yeah. Rough. Now?
So it begins.
Now.
Yes, from this moment forward.
Now.
Well, how about back from when we first were talking? I don't know.
That's great.
At some point, this show has begun. Welcome to the Biofriendly podcast.
Welcome.
I'm here with Jacob Givens.
I'm here with Noel Carroll.
And we're both here with Elise McCarthy.
Yes, we are.
Yeah.
But there's an extra person here today.
Yeah. Oh, we got a guest?
We have a guest.
I love guest times.
It's one of those shows.
Yes!
Where we get to invite somebody into the crazy world that is the Biofriendly podcast. So, ladies and gentlemen, I am excited to introduce to you Topper Luciani. He is the CEO of Goodfair. So, welcome,
Topper,
to the Biofriendly podcast.
Thank you so much. I'm so stoked to be here.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us. You
Yes.
know, I mean, like it's normally people don't respond to our blackmail or threats when we ask them to come onto the show.
Very true.
But it's
Very
really
true.
we really appreciate that you did.
Yeah.
It's really great. No,
Yeah.
of course, the audience better know we're joking. At this point, if they don't know we're joking, then we got to give up.
That's all
right?
we're doing. But I don't want to take away with a really bad description of what Goodfair does. I want to give it over to you. Because I think you'll be able to give the audience the best kind of, elevator pitch as to what it is that you guys do.
All right. So hello, Biofriendly listeners. Topper here. So Goodfair is an online thrift store. And what we do is we're here in Houston, Texas, and we are selling mystery bundles of different categories of used clothing for now. But we want to do that with everything that's in the waste stream. So basically, Houston, Texas is America's used clothing capital.
Is it really?
It's
I didn't know
crazy.
that.
Yes. So
I didn't even know they had a
clothes,
capital.
You're really donating like a price per pound. And so when you donate, you put your clothes in a donation box. Companies in Houston buy those fresh donations. They truck them to Houston, and then these textile recycling facilities sort the clothes into different categories. So you would see like men's dress shirts, men's polo shirts, across about 200, 400 different categories of apparel. Okay. And then those clothes are either thrown into a landfill or exported across the globe.
So they buy them to throw them in a landfill?
Yeah, because basically if there's not a market for them or they can't store them, if you get the amount of demand that's happening in the supply of used clothing in America is so staggering. Americans throw away 80 pounds of clothing per person per year.
Wow. What?
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's the size of my son. That's like taking my son every year, a pile of my son of clothes, and just throwing it in the trash.
I think your son's bigger than that now.
I think
your son has been growing a lot.
He's a husky boy.
Yeah. But it gives you an idea.
It gives you an idea. It's a small human. It's a small human.
Small human, large child.
Yeah.
Big dog.
Big dog.
Tiny bear.
Overweight
Cute
raccoon.
That's a big overweight
Wow,
raccoon.
80 pounds. Yeah. 80 pounds. That's amazing. I'm sorry we cut you off. I just we go into tangents.
It's totally bananas. I'm glad that you focused on that. So basically, so instead of these companies exporting the clothes, we also realized that the demand for used clothing in America is growing exponentially. The demand for used clothing across the world is growing exponentially.
Absolutely.
So we thought that, well, here's this enormous supply chain and a growing demand. Let's become the conduit to connect the two. And that's kind of what we're doing. That's the Goodfair mission. And the Goodfair mission is really to just educate people on our consumption behavior. And the bottom line is, if Americans or consumers just consume a little bit less or a little bit one or two things used instead of consuming new across all the things we're consuming, can have a mega impact. So that's what we're trying to do.
You are speaking our language.
That is, Noel beat me to it. You're speaking our language. Go for it.
This is what our podcast is about. It's about what little changes can all people make. Like what if, we try to toss out new things every week, and this week, it'll be what you're talking about, right?
Yeah.
But we try to toss out new things every week that people can kind of learn and grab onto, and if they like that thing, they do it, then that helps. And if they don't like it or it's too hard, fine, do the next thing.
Not for them. It's for the next generation.
Yeah, totally.
Exactly.
So, and that's so awesome because you're talking about like, here's one little basic teeny tiny change is to look at what, instead of getting the brand new shirt this time, just this time, go try a used one.
Yeah. Yeah. I went to your site and I was blown away because this whole concept, this is the first time I've even heard of the idea of thrift store, basically, like online. Because when I was growing up in high school, I was kind of a thrift store dork. Yeah. I was one of those kids, man. I was into all the, the alternative rock. And so you would go and the goal was to make yourself look as like 70s and 80s and weird.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, that was the cool thing to do, was to go get
this awesome green, like corduroy 70s suit. That was my favorite thing at a thrift store. Because I thought, this is how I want to look.
I had a green wool suit that I wore that was pinstripes from the Salvation Army.
Yeah, no, it's true, and that was a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun
going out and doing that and shopping in that way.
Yeah,
so it's really kind of cool that you've brought that to the modern world now. You're making it today, and so the idea of the grab bag, right? Like these random boxes. So is that kind of like it's just people who want to be surprised by here's some interesting stuff, or what kind of things do you throw in there?
So ultimately, we're trying to give as much predictability with that mystery box as humanly possible.
Okay.
And as we grow and have more inventory, we can give more sorting capabilities to the customer. To give you an example, we launched this company by just selling any 5 T-shirts for $20. Well, now since we're going through hundreds of thousands of pounds of T-shirts a month, we're able to separate black and white T-shirts. And if you just pay a little bit more, you can dictate which color you want. So
that's awesome.
That, as we scale, will continue to happen across the board with different categories of clothing to be able to give more sorting characteristics and control, but all still through this kind of mystery box mechanic, because the cost of cataloging, meaning photographing, measuring, describing, uploading, color correcting, all those elements into very, very low cost products. It's just not, the juice is not.
It's impractical.
Yeah. I kind of love the mystery box aspect though. There's an excitement because we're creatures of habit, right? You get into your routines, you get the same kind of stuff. I love those services that kind of say, here's 5 different things that we think you would think is cool. You know what I mean? Like an assortment of colors or styles, or there's graphics on there that you wouldn't be expecting, or just a variation. I just think that sometimes you need somebody to shake up your life a little bit like that. I do.
I agree.
I would not wear the lanyard if I didn't get it in the mystery box.
That's right.
It just wouldn't happen.
Exactly.
And then I realized I love the lanyard.
You love the lanyard.
And that's how I found out. It's because of the mystery box. This is hypothetical, but that's how it would be, though. That's how it would be.
Exactly. But so where did this idea begin for you? Like, what's the story behind how Goodfair came to be in your mind?
So ultimately, I wouldn't even say that I invented it. I just kind of iterated until I found a model that worked. I've always had a vision for creating a large scale online thrift store. What happened was I was selling used neckties on eBay.
I love that that's the beginning of this.
Yeah.
Right? So my name was the Emperor of Thailand. I think I still own the domain name.
Oh my God, that's great. Amazing.
That's great.
So the Emperor of Thailand business was good, except you really couldn't build a brand on eBay. And one time when I was buying the used ties, funny enough, since we're just podcasting and shooting the breeze.
We are shooting the breeze.
Yes.
Let it rip, whatever you want to say.
Breeze.
Shot down.
Shots fired at the breeze. Anyway, go on.
So I first started buying used ties on Craigslist from like widows. And then I really started to hit up fancy areas of New York City, of Park Avenue, try to find widows to buy the really fancy ties. of their dead husbands.
Yeah, I mean,
Boy, your search on Google must have been really complicated for a while there.
Widows, ties, widows getting rid of ties. I mean, that's an untapped market right there. There's all these ties in closets, right?
So that's what my hustle was. But then I found these textile recycling facilities, and 10 or 12 years ago, there still are a few on the East Coast, but as labor costs have gone up, they have kind of all come down, and real estate costs have gone up. All of these textile recycling places have moved to Texas.
Oh, okay.
Interesting.
But I was in one of those recycling facilities buying used ties, and I had like a very profound religious experience that was like, you need to be the person to put all this online.
That's awesome.
Wow, lightning struck.
Yeah.
The lightning struck. So here I am 12 years later still trying to make it frickin' work. But basically...
Well, you're making it work. You're making it work. You're getting a lot of traction and a lot of attention. I mean, and now that you're on this show, this is going to change. This is a game changer. You know, you said you're not going to say you invented it. We'll say you invented it.
Yeah.
You know,
people will believe us.
And people will believe us because we're very persuasive.
We're very persuasive and normally honest. Normally.
I like that.
No, but so you started on the East Coast, and then that epiphany made you go, all right, it's time to get down to Texas, and that's where you can really expand.
Well, no, so then I started doing vintage online.
Oh.
But that business failed.
What was that company called?
Called Nifty Thrifty.
Nifty
See, they're
Thrifty.
good. I like these names. They're
Good
good.
titles.
Yeah.
Still own that domain name too.
Yeah.
No.
Nifty Thrifty is yours.
Nice.
If anyone wants to buy niftythrifty.com from me, hit me up, topper@goodfair.com.
Yeah, hit him up.
Oh, well, you're gonna get a lot of emails now, man.
Yeah.
That
Oh
you've
yeah,
done
I
that.
know.
That's
The price of bidding war. So then, what happened was that business I tried to make it work for about 6 or 7 years, and I just studied what was wrong with that business model, and the biggest thing that was wrong with it was selling individual items. So I realized that, and the proximity to the supply chain. So I realized that if I was in the supply, selling mystery products, branding it with sustainability in the company's DNA, because Nifty Thrifty was all about vintage and deals.
Right.
Yeah.
And you know, it was 12 years ago. Sustainability just had not reached the tipping point that it has. And in my mind, sustainability in the cultural zeitgeist, we're starting to see it. But like, I mean, you guys are going to be as big as frickin' Rogan in like a couple years. You know,
That's what I keep telling him.
Every day when I say I quit, he says, we're going to be as big as Rogan.
Every day he quits the show, and I'm like, just wait, hang in there. We're going to be the sustainable Joe Rogans.
It's true, because the fact that, I mean, to me, I think that trajectory is just obvious. It's just taking some time, and it's day one on people waking up to this stuff.
Yeah, it's so true. It's so true, man. And this what you're doing, there is something about businesses and ideas and companies that there's a mission, a goal at the heart of them that speaks to everybody now, right? You're seeing that in what you're doing.
Definitely. I think especially with Gen Z, but in this post-COVID world, people are really, really purchasing with their values, because for whatever reason, if they, had an awakening to whatever, or we're just all waking up to our behaviors, and there's also an enormous social stigma around it, but I don't even like to focus on that, because I don't want any social stigma. It would do what you want. If you don't want to be sustainable, don't be sustainable.
Right.
If you want to be sustainable, please join us on the ride, on the journey.
Yes. Topper, this is.
You're now permanently on our show.
You're now permanently. We're gonna now we have to go to like Topper on the street, or something, because
live from Houston, Texas, it's Topper on the street.
Because we have dealt with this so much, since the start of the show, which is there
all
are
or nothing,
and there's millions of people that will walk away and tune it out because they feel like, I can't do enough. You're asking too much of me. I
don't want to live out of a freaking the zero waste. Like, I composted this I lived out of this jar today.
I don't want to be at a party. It's like, well, I'm drinking my own pee now. It's like, I don't want to hang out with that dude. It's like, get out of here, Bear Grylls. Let's We're all living in apartments and houses. Let's chill out.
That's the thing, right? It's being realistic, right? It's being realistic about how people are and where we are and what we can do, and how can we solve the problem while still being realistic and still getting people to do something that they maybe are willing to do. Yeah. And so that's great. And what's great about this is a simple thing. This is something that could be fun. This idea of like you're going to get a grab bag. You're going to get a surprise box that has some stuff. It's a mystery box, and it'll have some things in there. And if you use them and you can find ways to use them, then you're going to be helping the planet, and you're probably going to be flipping looking pretty cool.
Yeah, you're going to be
because you're putting on some like random cool stuff that nobody else has.
Rad threads.
Exactly. That actually reminds me. We have one day a week. We have our 1 day a week. We go talk to our favorite barista. We've pretty much wiped out the going out for coffees in our life. But it's another one of those sustainable things that took us years to try to be like, well, let's try to make our own. Anyways, whatever. Yeah. So we go 1 day a week to see Clay. Clay
our
is our barista. He's our friend.
Can you give the place a shout out?
Yeah,
it's a coffee bean.
It's a coffee bean.
It's not even like a fancy little joint. It's a coffee bean.
It's a coffee bean. It's not a cool little hipster.
We had like 3 hipster joints that we liked that were really hip and whatever else. But I mean, our favorite barista won us over. If Clay moved to one of those other places, we would go where Clay goes. Other places because it's him. He's the one who brings us back because he's just a great guy.
They've got benefits at the bean though, so you got to represent.
We're members.
Yeah, I got my points. Yeah, I got my points.
And that too.
Purple VIP.
I love loyalty.
Yeah, we're all about loyalty. Yeah. But this, one of the cool things about him, and he's a Gen Z guy, so that's what you're talking about. A lot of Gen Zs are into it, right? He will show us when we go in there. He'll show us the new threads that he made, where he'll take old clothes that he found and he'll put them together and he'll combine them and make like these random cool
patches
new pants,
and things, sewing stuff together,
like
stitching together,
or like or whatever, all sorts of. And he's wearing this just really kind of slick, neat looking stuff that he made himself. Yeah, and that's one thing when Jacob said you're coming on the show that I was excited about. I'm like, is that something you're finding with your customer base, or is that part of what goes on with this generation of people who are coming up, where they're taking what you're using and making new stuff?
Yeah, so we are catalyzing a very powerful upcycling community.
Nice.
And,
awesome.
Whether that's the future, like there's always going to be people that kind of don't want to do it yourself. But we're going to content, as Goodfair grows, content is becoming really, really important element of catalyzing this community. So teaching people how to do these upcycles, teaching people how to turn this into that and that into this is really critical and a lot of fun, and creates some awesome videos for TikTok.
Yeah, that's the key, man. Got to get on the TikTok.
What's one of your favorites? What's one of your favorites that you've either had that your group have done themselves, or that you've seen that someone sent you?
On TikTok.
I mean, how much do I have? Like 1 minute to run and sprint to go grab it?
You have, yes.
You have
absolutely.
as much time as you want.
While you do that, we're gonna vamp.
We're gonna vamp. He's gonna grab his
While he's
TikTok.
gone, let's talk behind his back.
Oh man, isn't he awesome?
Let's say lots of nice things behind his back.
To his front?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Yeah, we got to say things like how
great he is,
how thoughtful that is that he's gone and taken this whole potential amount of clothes that are wasted, and he's turning them into something that people can use.
I guess we don't understand how talking behind somebody's back.
Guy.
Yeah, right. What a great guy.
His problem is he's too thoughtful. He cares too much.
Right. If anything,
and
he needs to.
And this whole sustainability angle
is just.
I mean,
get over it.
That's just so real. That's.
I love it. I'm going to use the service. Yeah. I'm gonna.
What are you going to make?
I don't know. Well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to order some of these mystery bundles, and so I'm just going to see what comes, man. I want to try out some wild threads and see what comes in.
Your wife.
Yeah.
Is one of the most creative people when it comes to taking things and making them into something
else,
and not just clothes, just anything. Like she'll turn.
Yeah. Okay, I'm back.
Oh, we're back. Okay, I'll stop talking behind his back.
Yeah,
everybody,
no more talking.
We gotta continue. Nice things only. Well, that's what we were saying, wasn't it?
So, one of our team members took this denim jacket. It was just a blank denim jacket. It was actually a Marlboro denim jacket.
Awesome.
Nice.
And so, remember back in the day,
when people smoked cigarettes.
Yeah, Marlboro Cash, Camel Cash.
Exactly.
I am from that.
If you smoked 2,500 packs of smokes, you could get a fucking
jacket.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
That is so true.
They
That's
should be
so
paying
funny.
for your hospital visits, but instead
But
they
no,
like a denim
It's like,
jacket.
here's something that you can promote our company with.
It's so badass. So
I know.
we took this jacket, and then there were a lot of clothing scraps. And so they took a T-shirt of the Golden Girls, and then another thing that said "All American Grandma" from another sweater.
Oh my gosh.
And then they just took patches, like from all kinds of random things. Like this says Las Vegas, and
I love it.
Just a flower.
I have so many friends that would go crazy for
They
that
would go
jacket.
bananas for that jacket.
Oh my gosh.
Because now you've gone and you've made it custom. Now it's
custom.
nobody else's. That is just something that's for you only.
Yeah. That's amazing.
That is outstanding.
I love it. So did you guys highlight that on TikTok? Did you show the jacket?
I think we showed that on TikTok. Gen Z doesn't know what the Golden Girls are.
They don't get it.
I think irony is lost on them.
Yeah, right.
That's too bad.
Right.
If something's not serious, if something's not as serious as changing the climate,
Right.
Yeah.
I love it.
Oh well.
When I was in high
They'll get there. I believe in them.
They'll get there. No
when I was in high school, I bought I went to the thrift store and I bought a sport coat that was like from an old tuxedo set from the 80s, and it was purple, but it was kind of like purple
Nice.
floral.
Yes.
And I wore it to this new school I was going to. I'd moved to a new town in the Chicago suburbs, and I was having some tough times being the new kid at the school.
real.
And I was in the guidance counselor's office. I was in the school counselor's office, and I was like, yeah, I'm just getting picked on and bullied. And he looked down at my jacket. He was like, I mean, it might be your clothing choice.
Are you serious? That's legendary.
I'm dead serious. He just looked at my jacket and he was like, look, man. I mean, he didn't say man, but he was in this very disciplinary voice. He was kind of like shooting straight with me. He was like, you just got to this school and you've been here for like 6 weeks and you're rocking purple tux jackets in the middle. Look, man, it's 1996. What do you expect?
We're not there yet.
We're not there yet. We'll be there in like 20 more years.
We don't believe in individuality.
No.
We don't believe in uniqueness.
No. I always wondered why kids picked on me, and then I was like, oh, it is my clothing choices. Oh well.
But how baller is that the guidance counselor is like that's not that would never happen now.
He shot straight
Right?
with me. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It would never happen. He'd be fired. They're sued.
Yeah.
The school board is sued.
Right. How dare you shame this boy for his tux jacket? He was just looking at me. He was like, look, man, if you don't want them to kick the crap out of you, stop wearing the purple
Stop
sock.
wearing
At least
stupid
he was
clothes.
being honest. This is your
That's what we need from our guidance counselors. It's
Yeah.
like, hey, stop being an idiot.
They're called
Try that out.
they're called guidance counselors. That's their job.
Yeah.
Look, their job is to get you through the hallway without somebody swiftly kicking you as you walk by.
And that was it. Did it work?
It worked.
Yeah.
It worked. I immediately got a group of friends after that. and then I brought the jacket back. I brought it back. But I had to
win over a team
I had
first.
to win over. It's like if you put an animal in the wild,
Yes.
you kind of gotta hide under the brush a little bit until you meet some others.
Yeah,
and
get
then
a couple other foxes out there to help you out.
And then you let your plumage show.
Maybe that tiny bear can show up and can say hello.
I am taking over this whole interview with
You
my
are.
stupid
No,
stories.
I love it.
All right, back to the point, Jacob.
Back
Stop.
to the point.
This is. So what I want to know is, all right, let's suppose that I order a mystery box with no specification, whatever, just a basic run of the mill. What would be like an example of 5 things that I might get in that mystery box, just so that our audience can get an idea of what might be coming their way?
Right. So ultimately, you have you can buy a bundle of many different products, or you can buy a specific category. So our most popular product is our crew neck sweatshirt. So it's a 4-pack of just 4 random crew neck sweatshirts. So
Interesting.
the kids love crew neck sweatshirts. They love the hooded sweatshirts. So that's kind of how that works. And then bundles are just like some T-shirts and some sweatshirts and some flannel shirts, and we put them all together, for a lower price. So the most economical way to shop with us is to buy those bundles.
Yeah.
So do you ever get random, like could I randomly get a top hat? Would that ever come into
don't
a
think they
mystery
have
box?
top hats,
Or
right?
does that like not give value?
No,
to
we don't sell that because that would be its own category of clothing. So like
Right.
Ultimately, we sell baseball caps, so like this is a Goodfair. Everything I wear is Goodfair except my underwear. Basically,
and that's fair and good.
And socks, hopefully.
But eventually, we might offer a top hat category if we find enough of them in the used stream.
Well, there's a
if you do.
plethora of top hats.
If you do, let me know, because I'm in the top hat market. I'm ready to go that direction.
He's such a gentleman.
If you're gonna, I want the Kano at the top.
Monocles.
Yes,
We might F around with monocles.
I'm the only person who wears 2 monocles instead of just glasses.
Yeah. And you have them linked together, right, with the wires on the side. Yeah. It's classic.
Yeah. It's a good look.
No,
do you ever thought? No, this probably is totally against everything, but like accessories, if there were like an old stopwatch or like a something to put in your.
We want to sell everything that's in the waste stream. Our vision for this is way, way, way beyond apparel. So I think there's an opportunity for everything that's being donated. So it's sporting goods, it's home goods, it's books and records, and toys. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I was going to ask that. You answered my question. I was going to say, I feel like that given thrift shopping and Goodwill and whatnot, there's a million things that you can find that are considered to be in the waste stream that are good, that are in great shape, that all they need to be done is just wipe it off, clean it off, whatever. It is remarkable how much, especially the United States, consumes and throws away. I mean, the latest and greatest has been part of our culture for far too long. It's been like, I've got to have the next best thing always.
Yeah, why not get the last best thing?
Get the last best thing or the last best thing.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm excited about Goodfair is that I really can see that this could grow into like a whole, everything that you could possibly need in that market that you could get used in secondhand.
Well, so I would love to talk to you about this. So one of the another element of our mission is reframing the conversation around consumption in America, and basically there's a little bit of history lesson here.
Oh, bring it!
History.
No,
we love it. Please.
So,
bring it on.
There was this guy named Edward Bernays who was Sigmund Freud's nephew, and he was living in Austria. And thinking like, geez, how could I capitalize on all my uncle's like incredible learnings and teachings?
Yeah.
So he decided that he was going to move to America and sell like Freudian principles to American corporations on how to use humans like deep-seated fears and like all of our weird elements of our psychology that are vulnerable to sell more things.
Wow.
So basically he came in and he single-handedly turned the United States from a needs-based society, so meaning you buy something when you need it, to a wants-based society where, you buy something when you want it. And so that totally is just was an incredible catalyst for our economy and probably is a reason why we'll have flying cars soon, but it also did, very, was detrimental to the environment and detrimental to like, caused a lot of other, problems along the way.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
We see them every day.
We see them every day that we just need to buy because we want it, not because we need it.
Wow.
Exactly.
That's
that
amazing.
is so fascinating. Does he have anything to do with the sauce?
Bernays sauce?
Yeah.
Oh, maybe.
Maybe.
I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised. This guy was brilliant. He probably whipped up the first batch.
He was like,
and then he probably made people want it.
Yeah.
With his mind powers.
You never need Bernays sauce. You want Bernays sauce.
And I always want eggs Benedict
together. That's it.
I always need eggs Benedict.
Yes. I love eggs Benedict.
That's so funny to think that you've got the father of modern psychiatry trying to do good with all this. He's like, here's how I'm going to help the world.
Yeah.
And his nephew takes all the stuff and goes, all right, here's how we're going to screw it all up again.
It's crazy.
Exactly. And who died broke and who died rich?
I know.
Right. It's not right. Something's wrong.
That's hilarious.
Something is so wrong.
We've done shows on here. Obviously, a big buzzword that's around this is the whole fast fashion industry. We did a show on that and how that can be really problematic, and how we've gotten into this day and age where just fashion is being churned out and thrown on those shelves and then thrown away. Have you seen any blowback from these big, huge clothing manufacturers that are giving you a hard time?
Did you get a call from the Gap?
Yeah, like are these guys got a target on your back and being like, he's ruining our, we're trying to, you know what I mean? Like, is there any bit of a hostility?
I think we're still so small that they're not threatened by us. But as we're starting to take their market share, and that is going to continue to happen over the year. And eventually they'll be wanting to participate in what we're doing. Yeah,
that's what I hope. Is that they'll pick up on that this is the way of the future, and this is the way that things need to be.
They know change that. They see that is where they are skating to where the puck is going, to quote our friend Wayne Gretzky.
A classic hockey player. A classic hockey player.
Yeah.
So, it'll be very interesting to see if they want to partner with us. Right now, we're partnered with Nordstrom, but the fast fashion, the lower price fast fashion brands, are still kind of turning their nose at us at the moment.
Yeah. Well, they'll rue the day. They'll rue the day.
Our goal,
I just wanted to use that expression.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you did.
Yeah. Well, our goal then is to make you big enough that we cause you lots of problems. That these guys are just all over you with like, stop it.
Yeah. And actually, if we get down to Texas, I want to cruise by. I want to come hang out at the factory.
We actually have to go to Houston, quite more often than you would think. So,
really?
I'm going to be there for I'm not going to. No, I will. I'll be going to Houston for a charity golf tournament of all things.
There you go.
In September. In September. So maybe we can catch up.
You have an open invite to come to the warehouse and see this crazy thrift world.
I love it. We'll do a remote.
Well, we got two friends of the Biofriendly podcast. We got, she's in Austin though, isn't she? Well Aware.
Yeah, they're in Austin. Sarah.
Okay. Yeah, Well Aware.
So we'll go by Houston. We'll pick up Topper. We'll throw him in the car, and then we'll go up to Austin, and then we'll have a rager.
That sounds great.
And there it is.
Yes,
that's all we'll do.
Yeah. But we'll go thrifting first. We'll get some 70s.
Oh yeah,
that's it.
We got to get some sweet threads, and then we go.
And then
we'll
take the plane down to Africa where they're digging the wells for Well Aware, and then we'll have some
threads.
in our cool threads, and we'll have some water, and then we'll be helping the environment.
We're helping the environment,
and we'll do it all in a wooden sailboat made by Sarah Doggett.
Oh my gosh,
that's how we're going to do it.
I love it.
And that way we're totally sustainable.
We've
had some cool people on the show now.
Well,
now that we have had you on the show, we've had some cool people. It's like you completed the triumvirate.
Yeah. I love it. I love it. Is there anything that are kind of your biggest takeaways that you've learned in this process, or thing that you'd like to teach the audience before we wrap things up? Like these are the things that they can do today. Of course, use your service, but just I don't know, some nuggets from Topper. We'll call it.
Now we have a segment.
Nuggets from Topper.
Live from Houston, Texas. It's Nuggets from Topper.
Nuggets from Topper.
I would say develop a meditation practice.
Oh, I love that. I love that. Absolutely.
Because, it just, when you center yourself, just kind of, that to me to have more calm and centered people contributes more towards a better world than anything we can do from an environmental perspective. And then from a thrifting, any thrifting advice, I would just say, do it more often. Go to the shop at Goodwill, Salvation Army, any of them, and just have some fun with it.
Yeah, have some fun.
I think it is. It's just this is your reminder that this is an option, right?
Yeah.
That it's not like you can't do it. It's not like that isn't an option that can be done. That these clothes don't exist. They do, and that it helps a lot because that is waste if you don't do something with it, right?
Absolutely.
And so the more we can use things, the less waste we create. That's better for the planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's it's less manufacturing, it's less carbon emissions, it's less everything. That's the thing about reducing waste is for every piece of waste, there was the energy required to make that waste.
Yeah.
So anytime you're reusing something or upcycling something or trying to do it again, that's just using that much less electricity, less energy, and it's just better for the whole planet in general. So it's really good. I like the meditation one too.
Yeah.
Because if you think about most of the problems on Earth, like most of the time you're upset about something that's related to like your world, like something that someone's done to you or something you've experienced with someone. Like there's something that's got you in there, right? And it's all, people kind of think that it's this attack on you or this world, but in the end, it's your perspective. It's what do you think about what just happened? That's what causes you the pain. It's your own perspective on that. And one of the nice things about just chilling out for a minute and taking a moment to just be there and just have that kind of Zen moment is you start to recognize what really matters and what's actually going on and what are these problems actually.
Yeah.
What are these things? How much of that is external and how much of that is you reacting to what's going on?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Sustainability is also within the individual.
Yeah.
We got to be sustainable to ourselves.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Like there's no way you can live on that, hot-blooded, feisty, I want to go at war with everybody. You got to chill out. That's why we say on the show, step 1, chill out.
Yeah.
Because we got to...
Step 2, then go to war.
Once
you're chilled out, you go, then you can fight.
Step 3,
because you're from a place where you can win.
Step 3, buy thrift clothes. And
And 4 is safety.
4 is safety.
But you still can't blow up the moon.
You still can't blow up the moon. That's a no-go. That's a no-go.
But if you're Chairface Chippendale, you can carve in your initials into the moon or your whole. Yeah.
What's that from?
That's from no one here's a Tick fan? No. There's a show called The Tick. I love how I just went too far.
You went too far. You went too nerd.
I'm going to explain this joke now.
This is the time where I'm the guidance counselor and go, hey, Noel, if you don't make less Tick references, you'll stop getting the crap kicked out of you.
Exactly.
It is such a good cartoon.
Explain the reference.
It's so funny.
Yeah.
The Tick is trying to stop this guy named Chairface Chippendale from carving his name onto the moon.
Gotcha.
And he almost succeeds, but not quite.
The Tick stops him.
So Chairface Chippendale is able to carve in the C and the H before he stops him.
Okay.
So there's a C and an H in the moon the rest of the series. And then he gets upset about it because now he only has a C and an H in the moon, the Chairface Chippendale. So when he breaks out of jail, he says, I'm going to destroy the moon. Except he's not able to do that either. He only destroys half the moon. So then for the series from that moment forward, there is a little C with half of an H and half of a moon. And I think it's brilliant.
I think that's why Noel and I are friends.
I like it.
Because we're dorks.
So you can do that to the moon, but don't destroy the moon.
Yeah. Anyway,
No.
I love it. I'm so glad that Noel had that knowledge of the Tick.
I've heard great things about that show.
Yeah.
It is really funny.
I have.
It is legit. If you can find the original one, I think it's on YouTube.
Yeah.
It's hilarious.
All right.
It's one of the funniest things that's ever been made.
I admire I like your taste. We usually like the same kind of stuff, so I'm checking it out.
You'll die.
I will die.
You'll die.
Okay.
Or as the kids say, you'll be dead.
I'll be dead. But DED within a picture of a skull.
I don't know. We need to reference a person who knows. Elise, what is it?
Elise, don't they write dead now all the time?
The kids.
The kids.
I would say
The kids do a coffin emoji too.
Yeah, the coffin emoji.
Yeah, I use the skull.
The skull.
Yeah.
Skull face is good, and then the coffin emoji.
Okay, so I don't have to spell it out. I can so instead of laughy face.
Coffin emojis?
Huh?
I didn't know that.
Oh my
Yeah, I think that's even younger than you.
Am I right?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
What a
Yeah,
mess.
skull is passe. Trust me, I'm on TikTok. I know.
Yeah, you know the drill.
So is he. This
Yeah.
guy. I don't know if this
He
guy
probably
is
knows more references than me.
TikTok famous Jacob over here.
No.
90s rock star.
I started doing these TikToks about a month ago, and it just went bananas. That's the crazy thing about TikTok is it just goes boom, boom. Just happens like that.
It's so awesome.
Yeah, it is. It is. We'll have to follow each other.
You know it.
You know it.
Well, before we go, is there anything else you want to make sure that our audience knows, and that is there anything else you want to make sure that that you say that we've missed before we call it a day and plan our trip to Houston?
Yeah.
No, that's it. I just keep it sustainable, keep thrifting, and check out goodfair.com.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Go to Goodfair, guys. We'll link it in the podcast, and you guys should definitely go check it out. It's very cool. It's a very slick interface, too.
Nice.
So it looks
Thank
good.
you so much.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Congrats on all your
better.
success. We're excited to see how much this is going to grow. And now it's too late. You're a friend of the podcast, so you're stuck with us.
Yeah.
I'm so stoked. I'm so grateful that you had me on. It's really an honor.
Yeah,
Well,
awesome.
we'll do it again, and maybe we'll do it in your neck of the woods. We'll come
come
out
in
there.
there.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Well, thanks so much, Topper.
Thank you guys, and we'll chat soon.
We'll chat soon.
Absolutely.
All right. Talk to you later.
See ya.
Bye.
Cool. So do we do our tags?
Yeah.
To say our tags to say goodbye.
Well, I mean,
or
do we want to do any wrap up here?
Oh, we could do our
Wasn't that cool though?
Yeah.
He fit the show. Like most of our guests really do fit the show.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say,
well, they probably won't come on the show if they're too hardcore because they listen to us and they go, you guys are not serious. enough."
Right.
Right, because we're not serious enough.
I have had a couple people that you message back and forth, and you go, "Well, before we go any further, listen to an episode," and then I never hear.
You
from
never
them
hear
again.
from them again.
Jeez.
But I don't. I mean, honestly, I don't know if it's necessarily an insult or that they're just going, "Look, I'm not going to be able to hang on that show. I'm just not going to be able to do it. I'm used to giving,
This is more the audience. That I'm aiming for.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that we probably every time that they don't come on the show, it's like, well, then they knew that they weren't ready.
Yeah.
They weren't ready for this.
Yeah. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
That's exactly it. We're too something. We're
Too-
too something.
We're too something.
You guys are goofy.
We
too
are.
goofy. Who can take us seriously?
I've been told that my whole life, I swear. I've missed out on so many girlfriends because of that reason. You know,
Yeah.
never the cool guy, always the goofy guy.
Well, but that's how you landed Jamie,
That's
right?
right,
She was
it's
looking
true.
for a real doofus.
She's all right. I'm so lucky. Please don't leave me.
If she leaves you, you'll never have another.
I'll never
Start
have
baking
another
in front of
chance.
the door.
Really, I mean, honestly, you settled, honey. I appreciate it. Anyway, this we have been your beacon of light
we're
in
doing
a
it.
gloomy
doing it.
environment. We don't have to. We don't do.
Carefully avoiding neonicotinoids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And
think
we
so.
are the Siegfried and Roy and Meryl Streep of podcasts.
This show is a joke. Is it a joke?
Blows?
This show is a joke. This show
It
blows.
is a joke.
No, it's this. This show is a joke.
I'm sorry. I
And then-
just before I know we're doing the tags right now,
No,
but
we
just
can
so
stop.
everybody knows, this show is for me. Even though you've all been hearing shows every week, I haven't done a show in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Because I've been away from the office.
So we're rusty.
So we back ordered them.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I'm coming in here today doing the show, and I've forgotten almost everything about our
I
show.
actually don't remember what's next. I know. So
Step
I know.
one. Or is that me?
That's you, but that's why I'm thrown right now. It's because you said this show is a joke, and then I have one, and then you say
Step one.
Step one.
and
Chill
then I
out.
say the new one, which is spilling the teeth.
Spilling
Yeah.
the teeth.
But I don't know what's missing in between now. I can't my brain is
I
like
haven't been here.
yeah, I know,
We've all
right?
done- we haven't done a show in a couple. This is a disaster.
So I'm gonna just say to something,
Two.
Infinity.
and then you go on with your step one.
Step one. Oh, we already. Okay, I thought we're doing it again. Okay, step one. Chill out. Because we kind of did it.
Yeah, spilling the teeth since 2019, and then
And don't take off your clothes unless you're going to put on
thrift clothes.
That's one.
No,
That's one we do every week.
I didn't mean to start the tags too early. I just was saying that was a great show.
It was.
Great show.
Yeah,
Good guys.
it's pretty
Very
awesome, right?
interesting. I never
Yeah.
heard of Goodfair.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's the new hotness. It's the new hotness. It's what everybody's talking about these days.
HAWT.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe.
Is there? What's the emoji for that? Just fire.
Fire.
Yeah.
Fire, right?
Or you do the one with the tongue out, the face is like red, it's
Ah.
like sweating.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Right, like it's so hot that you're burning up, and you got to get some, like dogs when they put their tongue out to get some
It's definitely a flirty one too.
Yeah,
Oh, is it?
it's a
Yeah.
flirty one. And then there's an emoji.
thirst trap. I learned that
Yeah.
word from
Yeah, thirst trap. There's an emoji that's not getting any use at all, and
Yeah.
I want to try to bring it into the zeitgeist in the conversation.
Okay.
And that's the guy with the spirals over his eyes. Like hypnotized.
Oh yeah, that's new.
Yeah, it's new, but
don't get
nobody's using it. And I think that one's great because it's like you're transfixed, you're like hypnotized, you're like mesmerized. You know what I mean? Like I just feel like that could have some multiple uses to it or
I think
something.
I'm gonna use it when some guy is telling me lies. And
He's gaslighting you. Some guy's gaslighting you. He's just and you're like yeah. I don't know. I just saw it the other day and I was like, man, nobody's ever texted
I have a
me.
feeling you're going to use it for everything now.
Yeah.
From now
Like,
on,
hey, Jake, how you doing?
What'd you want to get for lunch? It's exactly right.
oh my god, like SpongeBob when they turned on that.
Yes. Yes.
You with the tick references, you with the SpongeBob references.
Hey, between the three of us, we've got all the cartoons covered.
I gotta tell you. I love this show so much. So yeah,
So we did it.
we did it.
Are we done?
We're done. Cheerio.
Bye.
There she goes.
It's the Biofriendly Podcast. It's the Biofriendly Podcast.